Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yo, talk less chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from PNP. I'm going solo today because, you know, Shad got things to do, man. He likes to be a family man, and you can never be mad at a brother for doing that. I hope you guys are having an outstanding Tuesday, and I hope you guys are having an outstanding week so far. Overall, my weekend was pretty good. I was out of town, chilling with some folks, went to a party, chopped it up with my friend, and had a blast, to say the least. You know, it's a pretty cool time in Carolina right now. I'm going to go over some topics, man. I'm not going to keep y'all too long tonight. It's been a long Tuesday for me, to say the least, but overall I had a pretty good weekend. But let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start with this. Shout out to all the Patreon subscribers. Really appreciate it. Shout out to you, regardless of what tier you decide to do, whether it's free agent, MVP, or franchise. We really appreciate it. And if you guys don't know about Patreon, just become a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/PantherNationPC. Sign up. We got a Discord. We're always in there chopping up with the fans and things of that sort. So just sign up and do what you do. I know I'll just go over some quick topics. I know that they're doing Fan Fest, and I guess it's $5 a piece with regards to that. But there was a couple of topics that came up that I wanted to talk about, and I also will take questions from the chat as well during the show. But I do have a couple of topics that I definitely want to hit tonight because there's been some fascinating things that I saw. The first topic that I wanted to talk about is adjacently Panthers related, but what happened to Teddy Bridgewater, man? So basically, man, he won a state championship, a high school state championship down in Miami, and at one of the high schools in Miami, and you know, he was doing this as a volunteer. So he was like paying for training camp, making sure the players had what they needed to have in regards to that. And they decided to suspend him. He has already commented saying that he wasn't planning on leaving, but like, for me, it's like a classic example of why some people don't help. But I think he's going to help because of who he is. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to all you guys. I have not seen this documentary yet. I need to pull it up. Is it about the entire franchise, or is it about a particular year? Because, you know, they did a documentary on the 2003 season, Super Bowl year. Nick Scorton is waiting because there was some second round picks that got fully guaranteed. I guess there was a second round pick. I can't remember who it was. They got a fully guaranteed deal. So it set a precedent. So now he's waiting to see what happens with everything with regards to the players that got drafted before him, before he signs his deal. So in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be a little bit because he's not the only one holding off. There's a lot of players that got drafted prior to him that are holding off on signing that deal because somebody thought it was a good idea to give a second round pick a fully guaranteed deal. So once you did that, it set a precedent, and now it's going to make other players hold off until then. which is unfortunate for us. Yeah, so that'll do it. Like if 30 out of the 32 players haven't signed, I think it's about who's going to blink first. So we shall see how that goes. I mean, but do you blame the player? Like if you see somebody that got drafted in the second round get a fully guaranteed deal, do you blame the player to saying, well, I want that too? But the problem is that these owners have no problem these owners have shown that they have no problem waiting these players out. I mean, shout out to Pablo Torre. He just recently did a whole episode talking about NFL collusion and what happened with the quarterbacks after the Deshaun Watson deal. Like straight collusion. So you can't blame the players for trying to hold out to see if they can get the money. But the thing is, the owners are probably going to win this battle, unfortunately. I don't think all the second round picks are going to get paid, get a fully guaranteed deal. I just don't. All first rounders get a fully guaranteed deal. That's one of the perks, from what I understand. They all get it. And honestly, man, the NFL has always been trying to avoid giving fully guaranteed deals, period. Like, well, when you talk about big deals, right? But it's going to get fascinating only because now that you have NIL in college football, it becomes fascinating to see how this goes because the rookie cap might have to shift to a higher rate anyway. Because now you have players that could potentially make more money just stay in the school a little longer. So some of them will opt for that. So, yeah, I mean, the biggest issue is that when you think about the NFL, right? It's not like the NBA. It's not like Major League Baseball when it comes to the unions, right? When you think about the NFL, there's like 3 tiers of players that you got to deal with from a union standpoint. The first tier is the quarterbacks. They got their own interests. They're going to decide what they're going to do, right? Second tier are the superstar players. Some superstar player quarterback might go ahead. We'll say the non-quarterback superstar players. They're going to have their own interests as well. And the third tier is pretty much the majority of the league. Is everybody else. You know, your role players, your guy, your starters, your guy that, you know, that gets the job done, so to speak. So it makes it very difficult for everybody to be in unison against the owners. That's why the owners continue to get what they want in the NFL. So it makes it very difficult with that regard. I promise you, man, if those owners don't want to play those players, they won't. They're one player out of 53. Yeah, and I agree with you though. I think the first 2 rounds should be fully guaranteed personally, but that creates an issue with some of the other players that are playing at a high level that are already in the league that doesn't necessarily have a fully guaranteed contract. So, you know, setting that precedence is going to be interesting. There'll never be a CBA in college football, guys. Ever. They need one bad too, especially now. They'll need one bad. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. If I remember correctly, they go back in the pool for next year. It's not how it works. So yeah. It's going to be a fun time, ladies and gentlemen. A fun time, to say the least. But back to Teddy, man. I feel like it's about I think some folks probably felt the way about how dominant his team was. Like his team was really good, won the state championship in his first year as a volunteer coach. So I think some folks just ultimately just felt the way about the whole ordeal. But I'm pretty sure they're going to figure it out and they'll just go through it. Bo Jackson did do this, and I believe didn't John Elway do this as well? Because they didn't want to play for the team that drafted him. So they waited. And Bo Jackson had a significant advantage because Bo Jackson played 2 sports. So he could just go play baseball. So, yeah. Yeah, man, I think folks are taking that Jamar Stewart story out of proportion. For those who don't know, I guess there was a report out saying that he's been out here working out with Texas A&M, practicing with Texas A&M. I think that's overdrawn. I think we overdid that story. That story was overblown. I mean, there's players that go work out at their alma mater all the time. That's normal. You should be concerned that they haven't. You should be concerned that they haven't signed yet. But that's a normal thing. Some players go back to their alma mater to do the practice and train and all that other stuff. They don't necessarily have to be in the office at the team facilities. So that's normal. I think folks are blown out of proportion because they haven't signed yet. And I think the Bengals, man, they're out of their mind. Because I could see it. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if Stewart sits out, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the Bengals are gonna swallow their pride and do the right thing. This might be one of the occasions where the player's going to win this one. That's it. That's all it boils down to, man. And the thing is, there's so many underprivileged high schools that don't get that type of benefit. You know, so for me, I just feel like you have somebody that wants to give back. He chose to give back, and then they got results that a lot of folks probably felt the way about. But the thing is, a lot of these schools already have those type of resources that he's bringing in or close to it. Like some of these high schools, man, they got freaking stadiums better than some colleges. So that's my perspective on it. Yeah, shout out to ACAST for the super chat. Appreciate it, my man. Yeah, someone needs to explain what the school was thinking. Why are they suspending Teddy for paying out of his own pocket? Like, how is that bad for the school if he uses his own money to take care of their own students? So yeah, I'm with you, bro. That's where I'm at. Like, he's doing it out of his own pocket, and I think that I personally don't think. I think that they should have never. I think that was unnecessary, and he doesn't work for the school. So for me, it's kind of wild. But like parents from other schools probably felt a way about how dominant he was because they were dominant. Like they were blowing folks out. They were blowing folks out, like destroying them, Debo style, Cobra Kai, no mercy. He was getting it in. But shout out to everybody that's in here, my man. Shout out to everybody that's in here. The second topic is more of a Cam Newton topic. So shout out to Bomani Jones. Right now, he's rating the top 25 athletes of the last 25 years. So from 2000 on, I think the only caveat is their career. If they were older than 25, by the time they started, he didn't put those guys into account. So Cam Newton was ranked number 24. I got the video clip. I'll let you guys see it. Some of you guys probably already saw it on Twitter. I'm just going to do a short clip. I got a couple clips tonight. I got 3 clips total. But this is a pretty short clip to kind of break down his thoughts regarding why he thinks Cam Newton is one of the top one of the top 25 athletes of the last 25 years. Actually, now I got to pull the clip back up. All right, give me a second, guys. I got to pull the clip back up. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. My apologies. Something came up and I had to go into my messages for something, so that's on me. Okay. I just want to make sure you guys can hear it too. But bear with me, guys, for 1 second while I get this clip back up. There we go. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so he rated Cam Newton 24. No. Let me see here. All right. I'm ready now. There we go. You guys should be able to hear this. Let me know if you can't.
Cam Newton, with no one on offense who played in the NFL, went undefeated in the SEC. And I am a person who does not believe in the idea of quarterback wins, except for one exception. Cam Newton at Auburn. There's never been anything like it. I want to say they won 7 games the year before or 8, and they won 7 or 8 games the year after, and they won 14 games the year with them. He was by himself worth 5 or 6 wins. He looked like he was bigger than everybody else. He was dragging everybody else, running a well-run high school offense, but a high school offense nonetheless. It was watching the team that just had the best athlete, and you let him do everything.
So, yeah, So, who was number 25? I cannot remember who was number 25. I can tell you real fast though. Give me 1 second. Because he did 25 through 21 yesterday on his show. Let me see. My memory is terrible when it comes to these lists. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of lists as it is, but that's a whole different discussion point. And he took it. He didn't take it down, did he? Oh yeah, here we go. 25 was Randy Moss. Number 25 was Randy Moss. Just so you guys know, so you get the perspective. 25 was Randy Moss. 24 was Cam Newton. 23 was Albert Pujols. 22 was Ray Lewis, and 21 was Tim Duncan. He's gonna keep going up the list. I mean, his reasoning for putting Cam at 24, because he admitted that he almost did not make the list, but what he did at Auburn is and I've said this in the past, greatest college quarterback I've ever seen. So I can't be mad at it. And then, he talked about the Super Bowl year, and he talked about his first game in the NFL when he bolted for over 400 yards. Still the last time we've had a 4,000-yard passer in franchise history too, by the way. Yeah, Randy Moss is at 25. Yeah, Randy Moss is at 25. Like, I said this about Cam Newton, man. When you talk about what he did at Auburn was freaking incredible. Like, incredible. But when you talk about the 2015 Panthers season, considering what he had, now he had a phenomenal defense, let me be clear, but considering what he had offensively, best MVP year I've ever seen in my lifetime. Both. It's both. Athlete, period. So college counts. Yeah, he was the first. I believe he's the first rookie in NFL history to start his career with back-to-back 400-yard passing games. He's a Hall of Famer, guys, but y'all know that already. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's a question that he's a Hall of Famer. But yeah. So like I said, he did 25 through 21, and he's gonna do it by the week. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. He has some talent on defense. I'm not gonna say that. The Auburn squad only had one player that went to the NFL outside of him. And that one player was on defense. And that was it. So he had no NFL players complimenting him on the offensive side of the ball. So when we start talking about greatest college seasons, you mention folks like a Baker Mayfield, you mention folks like a Tim Tebow, you mention folks like a Joe Burrow, but then you look at who he had. Joe Burrow was throwing to Justin Jefferson, folks. Like, I don't think anybody can deny how impressive what Cam Newton did at Auburn. Point blank, period. It was just straight impressive. And I'm not done talking about Cam Newton. We'll get to that later. Chad, did you guys watch my guest appearance on TSS Fantasy last night? I was on a show. I was on TSS Fantasy last night. I got some clips from it. And I thought, and I wanted to show you guys, but I just want to see. I want to get the room. Did some of you guys watch it? And shout out to the team for inviting me. I thought it was great. I'll give you a quick rundown on that. Originally, it was supposed to be Panthers and Saints. He's doing 2 teams per episode. So it was going to be Panthers and Saints, and I was going to be the Panthers guy. He ended up booking 2 Panthers guys. And it was hilarious. But it was fun because I got to slander the Saints. And any moment that I get to slander the Saints, I'm an advocate of. I like slandering the Saints. That's just something I like to do. But there was one portion of the show, we went over free agent pickups, we went over the draft, we went over fantasy football perspective. But we also did like a trivia game. It was like a Family Feud style type of thing. And I wanted to show you guys my high and my low. Yeah, so I want to show you the high and the low of the fantasy. So basically, you had a buzz in or say your name, and you do the top 5 answers on the board. So I'm going to show you the good, and then I'm going to show you the ugly, and then we'll go from there. All right. So first clip. Let me see here. All right. And shout out to Chew as well, man. Cool dude. Sure, we're sharing. We're good to go there. Let's go.
Here's your question. Again, this is all Saints and Panthers all-time history. I'm looking for the players who have thrown for the most passing yards.
Bing, me.
Dave, what you got?
This for Panthers and Saints, correct?
Yes, sir.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
That is correct. That is correct.
Oh, that's my
correct.
bad, Justin. I didn't take the loop off. I'll go ahead and change that. My fault. Good job. That is correct. Good job, Dave. Drew Brees, number 1 on this list, 68,010 yards. All right, well, you got control. What other answers do you got?
Cam Newton.
Cam. That is correct. He's number 2 on the list, 29,725 yards. All right, 3 left. Who else you got?
Jake Delhomme.
The homie. He's number 4 on the list, 19,258. All right, 2 more answers. You got 3 and 5. Got no strikes.
Archie Manning.
Archie Manning. 21,734. He was 3rd on the list. There is 1 answer remaining. Can you get it?
Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks. He nails it first, right? Man, that was a clean sweep around 1. Good job, Dave. Aaron Brooks, number 5 with 19,156. Okay.
So yeah, man, that was a fun ride to do that one, to say the least. So I had a blast on the show last night, and I'm gonna show you my lows too, because I want to be consistent. I don't want you guys to be thinking that I ain't out here in these streets trying to put this work in. So I had an ugly. We all had an ugly moment too. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to copy the link. Let me see. I know you guys asked for the link. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, man. Like I figured it was gonna be Aaron Brooks as the last guy. Like the first 4 was pretty simple. But I don't think he expected me to know that it was Aaron Brooks. Here's the link to their podcast. It was pretty cool, man. I had a blast on it. So shout out to them. Try to get their subs up. They got over 3K right now. I think they should be more than that. So shout out to them. I think they do an outstanding job. We had a couple laughs. It was a pretty good show. It was about an hour. So it was a pretty good episode that we did last night. So he also did it for running backs. We did it for wide receivers, and then we went to all-time touchdowns. And I'm going to show you how that one went. And that was a fascinating one as well. So give me 1 second to pull that one up. Let's see here. We'll share this one. We will blow this up. We will change the background. Over here doing everything in these streets, man.
I'm looking for the players who have scored the most touchdowns.
Dave scored the most. Like we're talking skill positions and quarterbacks.
I should specify this every time. Not thrown TDs. Yeah, so just specifically running in or catching them.
We're going to start with Steve Smith Sr. again.
Steve Smith Sr.
That is correct.
Number 2 on the list with 75. Okay, you got control. Can you close it out?
2. Okay.
Deuce McAllister.
Fail. Didn't make
this is going to be difficult. All right. God. D'Angelo Williams?
D'Angelo Williams.
Yikes!
Oh boy, 2 big strikes up the
Oh
back.
my
Hey,
God.
don't leave Chew all this meat on the bone. It's
I
in the
know
name.
he's gonna take it. Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. He's number 1 on the list. 86 TDs, all-time history. Think about that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of
so you
wild.
got-
Like I knew
you
he was
got-
on the list. I didn't realize he was gonna be number 1.
Number 1. He's so you got number 1 and number 2. What else you got?
Oh my God. Let's see. Now I forgot who I said.
You said Alvin Kamara and Steve Smith. So you got.
No, I know that. I'm talking about the ones I missed.
Oh, I got you.
All right. I know I said Deuce McCoskey, but it ain't him. Mushin Muhammad.
Mushid Muhammad.
It's really unfair. It's my team.
Before I continue, because I got 3 strikes, he can steal. Okay. It's Family Feud style. And let me say, this was a terrible. I was a little bit embarrassed. I was already embarrassed at this point because I felt like I should have done better than this. So Chew has an opportunity to steal right here. So let's see how he does.
Chew, you got so much
This is
meat
easy.
on this
Yeah.
bone
Yeah,
right
you should easily get
here.
this one,
You
boss.
got 3 answers to steal it and force the tiebreaker. Can you tell me who has the most TDs all time?
Go Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
All right, so he got it wrong too, which is unfortunate, Chew. I'm curious for you guys. I want to before I tell you, he's going to give the final 3, 4, and 5, but I want you guys to put some names of who you think the 3 and 4, 5. Now, we're just talking Panthers and Saints players, so I'm curious to know who you guys think could be 3, 4, and 5. I've seen Colston. I've seen Reggie Bush. Who else? Jay Stu. Who else you guys think could be 3, 4, and 5? Michael Thomas. Okay. All right. Give me some more names. I honestly don't remember. There was some. I know 2 of them, but I'm gonna let him say it. Because I don't remember all 3. Greg Olsen, Colston, Thomas, and Cam. Jay Stu, Colston, and Horner. All right. Let's go ahead and give y'all the answer.
Oh my goodness, me oh my! You had it there by your chinny chin. Marquise,
Ricky Williams.
No Ricky either.
Mark Ingram?
Colston. Marquise Colston comes in at number 3 with 72 TDs. And you guys forgot about Cam Newton brushing that thing in the end zone. He's number
oh my
4
God.
on the
I
list.
didn't think he had enough.
63.
I didn't think it was gonna be enough.
How did
And
passing touchdowns
Jonathan-
not count and he's still top 5? That's crazy.
That is
And
insane. He's a Hall of
and-
Famer.
Number
what are y'all
5
saying?
on this. Number 5 on this list. I'm gonna take the Panther fan card. Is Jonathan Stewart with 50?
Yeah, that's on me. I have to take that ownership.
Woo-wee. All right, so
More
Good
Panthers
job.
was on there than Saints, which is shocking. But
Yeah, that's what we only win on Saints, obviously, in this game. So
yeah, no, it's all good. I can't fault you guys too much for that one. All right.
so yeah, man, I was very mad at myself because I missed. I was probably more mad about Stewart than Cam. When he mentioned Cam was number 4, I was in shock. Like, that is insane to me that he's like 4th between the Panthers and the Saints of all-time TDs. And we're not even talking about passing touchdowns, just rushing. That is insane to me. Stewart, I'm not shocked by. That was on me. I should have known that one. So I got to take ownership there. But the other one, Cam was kind of, that one took me aback a little bit because I think I shook my head for the rest of it. I'm like, I cannot believe that Cam was on that list. But nah. But Yeah, that was me too. Like during the show, I didn't think about quarterback. That's why I asked the question initially, but he kind of gave me the clue and I kind of missed it when he said non-passing TDs. So I didn't take into account Cam has a lot of rushing TDs, a lot. So that I gotta own that one. I missed the clue, but I ended up winning the game 3-1. But that was fun. I had a blast. Chu ended up getting the second round. I got the third because I got 3 strikes and he couldn't steal it. And once again, I got 3 strikes and he couldn't steal it. But that was fun. Shout out to TSS Fantasy, man. They do really good work over there. We talked about fantasy football a little bit, and I could probably give you like a quick synopsis in my perspective because we were talking about the fantasy prospects for the Panthers. So it's fantasy time right now. Folks have already done some of their dynasty leagues. They're going to start doing season long redrafts very soon. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know how you guys feel about all the great weapons that we've picked up, and I know how folks feel about Bryce Young. Right now, Bryce Young's ADP is 23. But he was 20th last year in fantasy football from a quarterback perspective, and I think he's probably going to fall around that same range. And that doesn't mean we're not going to win games. Let me be clear. I just believe that they're going to do more things I think they're going to run the ball more. So I truly believe they're going to run the ball a lot. And so that means that Bryce probably won't throw the ball more, probably throw between 25 and 30 times a game. So you're going to have games where he might only throw for 200 yards. You're going to have some games that he might break 250. He might only throw like a touchdown or 2. So that means that's going to hurt the receivers. Because when you think about T-Mac, I think T-Mac is probably going to end up being the one that gets the most fantasy points, but I think he's probably a flex at best, maybe low-end wide receiver 2, but that's pushing it. Maybe in a 12-team league, he could be a low-end wide receiver 2, but he's flex at best for the most part. Thielen is going to be Thielen. He's going to get targets, but you don't want Thielen having the most targets on the team. That's problematic. Leggett's a tough sell too, because I think it comes down to target distribution. Like if you're only going to throw the ball 30 times a game, your wide receiver 1 is probably going to get 10 of those targets. So now you're down to like 20, right? So if you're down to 20 targets, you're talking Leggett, Thielen, Coker, the running backs, the tight ends. They all got to share 20. There's not enough. Like that's what it boils down to. It's not enough. Yeah, man. This is the classic example of when you play fantasy football, you gotta leave the fandom at the door. I would have started Baker Mayfield 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times. Because even though Bryce has been playing at a very high level, from a fantasy perspective, he wasn't that high. So 10 out of 10 times would have played Baker. Sorry, would have played Baker. And I hate the Bucs just as much as y'all do, but I'm playing Baker. Sorry. But overall, when you get into the running backs, we had a nice discussion about that. Because I think Chu was going to do well, but I question if Chu was going to do as well as he did last year, only because of the fact that they picked up Rico. Them picking up Rico completely changes the perspective of what can and can't happen, because I think they're going to try to split things up. Nah, bro. Especially if you had money on the line, sorry, can't do it. I cannot play him. So I think Chuba's going to be an RB2. Like I think he's going to be in the 16 to 24 range, from a running back's perspective. I mean, look, man. I don't hope I can do well as long as we win. Baker can throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns, but if we beat them, I could care less. If Baker got you 50, 23 ain't respectable enough, bruh. If Baker got you 50 fantasy points, 23 fantasy points ain't respectable enough for me. That's too big of a gap. But I just think that right now I have Bryce Young as like a streamer quarterback. Like he's a guy that you bring in for a bye week, or if he has an interesting matchup, or if you made the decision that you're going to stream quarterbacks, he would be on my streamer list. Like that's what he is. And there's sometimes and I've won championships streaming quarterbacks every week. Every week. Like I will switch a quarterback every week. You know, I think I ended up with one league that I won. I ended up with Blake Bortles at the end of the season. Yep. And I remember the joke of the league that year because he wanted to trade me a quarterback because at the time I was first in the league and I was getting on a little losing streak and I still ended up first when it was all said and done. And somebody wanted to trade me a quarterback, but he wanted like my RB1. And the response I gave him was, I'd rather play with Blake Bortles. And I ended up winning the league with Blake Bortles. So, but anywho. But as for the running backs, like I think Rico is going to be like a low end flex play, somebody that you can bring in potentially. But we're not going to really get the vibes of Rico until we get an idea of how they're going to do it. If Rico ends up winning the return job, then it becomes interesting, especially if you get points for returns. That's somebody I would slide into a flex. You know, he's getting like 10 touches. If Rico gets 10 touches a game and he's returning, I probably would start him every week because you got the potential of potentially getting a touchdown run. You get a touchdown off a return. So, you know. Hey, man, I tell folks all the time, when you build your fantasy roster, you don't always have to have like the top quarterbacks if you got a good foundation at the running back and the wide receiver position. I mean, a lot of times I typically wait to take a quarterback. Do y'all think we should play the starters in preseason compared to last year? I don't know if we need to. Like last year, I gave them heat about it because it was Dave Canales' first year. People needed to probably get the vibes of how things were going in actual live play. But now we're in year 2 of the system. I don't think it's necessary. Like I'm not gonna go in on them as much as I did last year and the year before that with Frank Wright. I'm not gonna go on on them on them regarding that. So I'm not gonna knock him if he makes a decision to go the same route he did last year. I'm going to be fair with regards to that because now it's different. He doesn't necessarily need to do that. I mean, I think it'll be good to see T-Mac more, and I think it'll be good to see some of the other players more. But overall, I don't think we have to do it. Yeah, man. I've done that as well. Congrats to you. It's all about how you build your roster. And I think sometimes in the draft, unless you're in a league where you do overvalue quarterbacks, you shouldn't overvalue quarterbacks. Because after you get past the first 5 or 6, everybody else is close enough. Like once you get past Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, the usual suspect, Burrow, the usual suspect is up there. Everybody else is about the same. And at that point, it's better for you to go and draft running backs, wide receivers, have a strong bench that you do bye weeks, than worry about the quarterback position. If it falls right. Like now, there's a point where like if freaking Patrick Mahomes is sitting there in the 4th or 5th round, you kind of got to do it then, right? But I typically don't want to try to get a quarterback until it's like super late. Like I would like to prefer a super late guy, because I think it's more important to have that core of the running back, the wide receiver, maybe even a tight end if you can get a decent one. I think if a running back, I think a RB1 is always valuable, my man. Like I think if you draft a running back, if you draft the 10th best running back in fantasy football, that means he's probably got 20 touches a game. If you can get 2 of those guys, that's a bonus. You know what I'm saying? If you can get 3 of those guys, you're golden. Like if you get folks that are going to pound the rock and carry the ball and get the bulk of the work, because that's going away faster. But nowadays, wide receivers are starting to slide to be more important, especially in the early rounds, because when you can get somebody like a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, Somebody that's going to get that you get the bulk of the target share. You definitely can do something like that. It's funny because I can see Genty being taken in the second round. The folks are high on him, man. Genty ain't going 1 overall though. I can tell you that. I can tell you that right now. I mean, it's going to be the usual suspect. I expect Saquon Barkley to be in consideration for number 1 overall again. I mean, the man ran for 2,000 yards. Like, why wouldn't he be number 1 overall? I mean, I could see you considering Jamar Chase as number 1. He bowled out of his mind this year, or Justin Jefferson. Like, you got a lot of options at number 1. That's nuts. I wouldn't take Gentry number 1. Maybe in a dynasty, but not in a redraft league. I wouldn't take him number 1 overall. I mean, I could pull up the data from last year. See if I can pull it up real fast. I mean, I could pull this data up real fast, but we'll see. Let's see here. I mean, this is what ESPN is saying, but if you look at the running back rankings for PPR, Bijan's number 1. Let me see. I'll pull this up. I'm just going off what I'll shout out to ESPN. I'm just going to show you what ESPN got in their streets. Only because I don't have my stuff down quite yet. But oh, well, let me blow up, huh? That's not good. Okay. Oh, that's the most I can do. All right, I'll stay away. Okay. So it looks like Bijan's number 1, which I'm not shocked by. Jamar Gibbs is number 2. Barkley's 3. Gentry is 4. That is wild to me. Uh-oh. The site has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Make sure the audio comes on. All right. So pick your poison. Now look how far we're going to get before we get to our guy. There's Chuba. Chuba's sitting at 19. There's Chuba right there, sitting at 19. Now wait till you see the wide receivers. Ooh. Jamar, Justin, CD, Puka, Amon-Ra. How far do we got to go before we get to Carolina? How far do we have to get? You got T-Mac at number 31. That's the highest rank. That's the highest ranked wide receiver. Oh, you guys can't see anything. I am so sorry. Hold on 1 second, guys. Because it crashed. That's why. My apologies. So I got to do that again. I apologize. We'll do running backs first. So Bijan's 1, Gibbs 2, Saquon's 3, Gentry's 4, which is wow. Christian McCaffrey's 5. And you got to go all the way to 19 to get your Carolina guy with Chuba. Let's see if Rico even made the top 50. Rico didn't even make the top 50, which is about right. So, like, if you can get 2 of these guys within the top 15, you're sitting in a good spot. Like, that's what you want to kind of do. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's Genty, right? Appreciate the super chat, A-Cash. Appreciate the super chat. It's Genty. My bad. You know, sometimes I'll be out here mispronouncing folks all the time. Wide receiver, though, T-Mac isn't until 31. Number 1 is Jamar Chase. So, but you know, Chase, Jefferson, Lamb, those are the big 3. They're always the big 3. In that regard. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these hold out. But when you talk about Carolina wide receivers, I mean, the highest one is T-Mac at 31. So that's why I'm trying to temper you guys' expectations, man. from a distribution standpoint, like from that standpoint, I would be very cautious of getting too crazy from Panthers offensively. That's just my thought. I mean, if you want to watch, you want to check out the tight ends, we can look at these tight ends. I mean, it's the usual suspects at the top, but now first time, man, Travis Kelce out of the top 5, man. It's gonna be fascinating to see how that goes. But do you notice something? There's no Carolina tight ends on this list. There's other teams that have 2 tight ends on this list, but Carolina does not have one. So yeah. Just trying to tell you 10 yard presentations. Maybe we're good at the kicker spot. You know, because kickers need love too. And we don't even make the top 25 for that. And I know defense, we probably won't make the top 25. Better because we had the worst defense in the league last year, or the top 20. Yep, we don't make the top 20 here. But defenses are so random. So I wouldn't even put too much stock on it. I wouldn't put too much on stock. I wouldn't put too much stock on it defensively. From that regard. So I wouldn't be panicked too much about that. Over time, maybe, but not next season. I really think you guys really need to get on board with the fact that we're not going to be this high-powered passing offense that you think we should be. That's not how Panthers football is. Like, people forget that when Dave Canales was offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay, their offense was in the bottom half of the league. But when I say that, you guys feel away, but that's the truth. They were in the bottom half of the league when it was the OC. And that's not to say that, and they won the division, which goes to show that you don't have to be a high power offense to win the division. Kyle Pitts is on there because they're going to throw the ball. They're going to throw the ball more than us. Talking about tight ends, we don't use them. Although Canales' offense tend to use them more than what the past set of offenses we've had since Greg Olsen. So drafting Mitchell Evans might be some level of hope that maybe, just maybe, we might start utilizing the position again from a pass catching standpoint. So you never know in regards to that. So it just depends, right? It really depends on whether or not he's ready to start utilizing that position. I mean, it could go either way with regards to that. But yeah. But, I just think we need to have some understanding about what the expectations are from offensively. I don't need this offense to be top 5. I just need the offense to be top half. And even that might not occur because of how we operate. Because we plan to pound the rock. We plan to run the ball first. I know folks don't want to hear that, but that's what we are. I mean, that goes back. We went to 2 Super Bowls off of a running game and playing great defense. So I don't know why that changes. Yeah, we'll probably be sitting around here and folks are going to be mad. But I don't think folks will be mad if we're winning. I think if we're winning these football games, I don't think folks will be mad. I mean, we haven't seen more than 5 wins since Steve Wilkes, right? So I think folks won't be mad. I mean, if I pull up Jalen Hurts' chart, you'll be amazed. You know what? Why not? Why not? I should show this to you guys so you can understand why I say what I say. All right. Let me put this is all right. I'm going to pull this up real fast and then I'm going to close the show. This has been fun, guys. I've had a blast with you guys tonight. All right. So here's Jalen Hurts. Here's his game logs for all his games last year. All right. Can I blow this up? Let me see if I can blow this up. I didn't have good luck the last time. There we go. All right. It worked this time. So here's his games. All right. All of his games. All right. We can start the Super Bowl. 22 times, 28, 20, 21. All right. He didn't play in the final game, really. All right. 32, 21, 19, 22, 28, 20, 24, 20, 14, 25, 30, 38, 30, 34. Didn't really throw the ball more than 30 times that often at all. So, you know, and then if you look at his yardage, I mean, he only had one 300-yard game all season. One. He's only had one. Okay? One. He only had one 300-yard game. They won the Super Bowl. So, and they beat the Chiefs, who always gets the Super Bowl. So, and I know Saquon Barkley was there, but the point still stands. They depended on him, and not Hurts. Like Hurts made the plays when he needed to make the plays. So, if you draft both without the quarterback, I have questions. I don't think you could do it. I just think that I've never been the biggest fan of oversaturating a team. I'm okay with it when it's a high-powered offense like Cincinnati. But I think if you're gonna go this route, you need to try to get Burrow as well. If you're gonna go, don't go half measure. You got to go full measure. Shout out to Breaking Bad. Like if you're gonna do it, you got to go full measure. Like you have to go full measure. He does, but it proves my point. Like he ain't out here having to throw 300 yards a game. Like Jalen threw, what did he throw for last season? Jalen didn't throw for 3,000 yards last year, man. Like there's a stat sheet from last year, from the regular season. And he was 10th in QBR, but he didn't throw for 3,000 yards last year. He didn't throw for 3,000 yards. And you guys are expecting Bryce Young to throw for 4. Like, as long as we win, I don't care. That's where I'm at. This is where I'm at. I am him. As long as we win, I don't care. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm always an advocate if you can combine your wide receiver with your quarterback. I'm always an advocate of that. You ain't gonna, especially if you got a really good quarterback. I'm always an advocate of that. But but when you make those decisions, that means you're in essence making a legitimate risk because you probably have to reach for one of these guys. You're probably gonna have to reach for Joe Burrow to make it happen. So I got us 9-8. I think we'll win the division at 9-8. I think 9-8 is going to be enough for us to win the division. All right, and that's just how I feel about the situation. I think 9-8 will be more than enough for us to win this division. So that's just my thought on it. But all right, man, I'm going to shut this thing down. Damn, man, 7-10. No, man, more wins. Not 7-10. More wins. I think we're going to win the division. Like Tampa's the only squad I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Atlanta. I'm definitely not worried about the Saints. Just like I said last night, I think the Saints are going to have the worst record in the NFL. I think they're going to be the worst team in the league. 11 or 10 is pushing it, bro. I can't subscribe to this. That's tough. But considering the type of season that we had, would you guys be furious if we win 8-9 next year? I think we'll do better than 8-9, though. I think we'll have our first winning season since 2017. I really do. I think Bryce is going to run a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to be to the point where he can be like a fantasy. Like I don't think it's going to get him to the point where he's like a top 12 fantasy quarterback. I think he's going to run a little bit more this year. But all right, guys. Oh, wait, before I go, I got to tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP when you do. They just initiated a best ball league in the NFL for the NFL draft for the NFL. They only cost $1 to enter. I'm probably going to do one of those because it's a fun thing to do. I like doing best ball drafts. And the beauty of a best ball draft is you draft your players and you pretty much let it ride. They'll give you the best point totals based on the people that you have to start on a week-to-week basis. And then if you make the playoffs and then get to the Super Bowl, you can win a lot of money. So make sure you go to underdogfantasy.com and use the code PNP when you do. It really helps out the channel, and that is free. But before I close out, I would just want to make sure you guys understand that you need to go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on my Twitter handle at ChampD1012. You can follow the podcast Twitter handle at Panther Nation PC. It's right there. And yes, I still call it Twitter. Mama calling Clay, I'm calling Clay. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and most of you guys are here on YouTube, so you know we're here. Go ahead and tell a friend. We're still on the road to get to 25K. And on that note, we're out, guys. You guys have a lovely evening and have a great rest of your week. Peace.